Welcome to Interviews, hosted by Randy Goodman, Harvey Callis Real Estate, your real estate professional. Get to know our community, our businesses, products, and services that will elevate your life. Please welcome your hostess, Randy Goodman.
Good day, everyone. It's Randy Goodman here from Harvey Callis Real Estate, and I am here with the lovely Karla Lang, who is a sacred advisor for conscious couples. And I can't wait to hear about that. Thanks, Karla, for being here with me.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Awesome. So, Karla, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're so passionate about.
Well, by training, I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I see individuals. And I've also been, I took a break from my practice for a while because I literally got burnt out. So when I came back, I started to see couples, and I just remembered how much I just adored this work. It's the hardest therapy you do, but it is the best therapy. When you can take a couple from, I don't know if we want to be together, to let's plan our second honeymoon, there's nothing more amazing than that. And even, I don't know if we're going to make it, and how do we do this in a way that honors both of us? That's awesome too. So I light up. It's amazing. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, awesome. So tell us a little bit about that work. Like, what does it look like, just so that our audience can understand like exactly what you do?
Well, basically it's therapy. So you come in and we're going to have a discussion of what you want to get out of this and where you want to go as a couple, the issues that you're presenting. And then we work through all your triggers and your blocks as a couple, because you each individually have your own thing, right? And we like to say, oh, if only this person would change, or if only this person would change. But guess what? You have to do the changing, right? And my belief about couples is if you both come together as two wholes, you create this separate entity of this relationship, which becomes a sacred thing. And how do you hold the space for both people to be all of who they are and accept them for all of who they are? And what's all entailed with that. So it's like a thing that we're going around. I'm working in my head right now that I'm looking at creating a program for couples. Mm-hmm. And that they can just go through. It hasn't been developed yet, but it's in the background, because there's a process you can go through that I'm taking each couple through no matter what. Right. And wouldn't that be awesome just to put online and do this program for couples and have support as they go through it? And then it's not necessarily like therapy, but it's still getting the same effect, right?
Right. Like things that they need to do with homework and stuff like that. Okay, awesome. So did you always do this, Karla? What did you do before? Like, what led you here?
Well, I graduated as a marriage and family therapist in 1999.
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
I've been doing this for a while. I had a private practice, then I had children and realized, I needed a constant salary. It's hard to have small babies on an entrepreneurship. So I went in, I worked in children's mental health for about 13 years. I was a clinical supervisor, worked with parents and families and kids. And then that's where I burnt out. And I also thought, so I went a completely different direction. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to work with women, I'm going to help them be empowered. And it just, when you're in the flow of what your gifts are, mm-hmm. things just the world opens up to you, right? Well, the world wasn't opening up to me in the women empowerment piece, even though I helped a lot of women, it wasn't in a flow.
Right.
Then I had an opportunity to join a psychologist in a private practice, and I jumped at it. And that's a year now. So I was back in private practice for a year, okay. And working with my couples, and that's where I remembered my flow.
Right. I love it. It's nice to we all want to try things, and sometimes we think that we're not where we're supposed to be, and we go and try other things and realize, wait a minute, maybe that was where I was supposed to be, you know?
Well, and I was burnt out, so I had to recoup, right? I had to get myself well, and I had to get my mind well and my body well so that I could actually walk into that space with people.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. And thank you for sharing it. So, you know, I know it's important to you to give back to society. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, in the journey of coming back, I began working at the local women's shelter, and I had a year-long contract in addition to my private practice, and I just decided the contract wasn't renewed, and so I decided I'm just going to keep volunteering for these people because they're doing such amazing work. The women need it. You know, it's like, I know what that feels like to come out of that situation.
Right.
I wanted to give back to them. So I'm doing that.
Nice.
And I'm also putting on, because we're in COVID, so it's hard for couples in COVID, right? Like, you're like totally connected and together. So you're either
can't get away.
can't get away. So you're either gonna like pull together more or look at some stuff, or it's gonna amplify the stuff that's already going on
Right.
that you may or may not be able or want to continue to deal with, right?
Right.
So I put together this free workshop that I'm going to have at the end of May online for people so that they can really have some tools for a deeper level of communication and connection.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really great, because I know a lot of people are probably struggling out there. You know, they're used to being able to come and go and take some time for themselves, and there's really nowhere we can go, you know, unless it's for a walk for a short time. And you know, a lot of people don't necessarily want to go for a walk when it's chilly outside, but I do. I don't care. But you know, it's harder for people to get away, and I get that. Like, abuse numbers are up, and you know, all kinds of negative things, or stress levels are up, because people, you know, aren't able to figure out how to have their own time in a space where we have to be isolated, possibly with other people, like even our families, and having a harder time being able to find their own space, right? And or to de-stress. And I know, like, maybe you have some suggestions for de-stressing at home in this situation.
Oh my goodness, de-stressing at home. Yes. You know what? Just find some space, 10, 15 minutes of your own space. Say, okay, kids, mommy needs a timeout. You know, husband, I'm going outside. Go outside, go in your yard. Or if you don't have a yard, go on your balcony. Or if you don't have a balcony, go in your bathroom. I would use my bathroom as a timeout all the time. Lock the door.
Right.
You're in your bathroom, just sit there, just breathe. You know, I like to do this breath of, you breathe into the count of 12, and then you breathe out to the count of 14. So it's like a very, really big, deep breath from your solar plexus, from your belly. So you want to fill your belly like a balloon, and just breathe there and close your eyes. And oh my goodness, if you have to bawl your head off, bawl. Whatever emotions are coming up for you, let them just flow through you, because holding on to the emotions adds to your stress.
Right.
If being in that moment makes you feel so happy, feel the happiness. Just allow those feelings to come, and give yourself, you know, 15 minutes of a timeout. That's what I say. I'm going on a timeout, because if I don't get a timeout, you're getting a timeout. So I'm getting
a good one. Yeah. If I don't get it, you're
choose my timeout. They'll choose my timeout over this.
Love it.
Time out and just breathe, and take that time to breathe. If you have a meditative practice, you know, maybe do some meditating, do some visualization while you're in that 15 minutes of just imagine yourself on the beach, you know, or in the mountains or in the woods or wherever in nature you feel good. Or if you can, you know, wherever you're going to sit for that 15 minutes, allow yourself to just daydream and be in this just peaceful place, and let whatever needs to come through you come through you. That'd be my advice.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's it's a good idea, because If there's not a lot of places to go, you can always lock yourself in the bathroom. I love it. Even if there's noise going on all around you.
Yeah, take some headphones with you.
And
You can do like a guided visualization on your phone and with your headphones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's lots of videos for that, or podcasts or whatnot, right? They can easily find something that can help them through that process. That's awesome. So are there any other tips or suggestions you have for people? And it could have to do with anything.
Be kind. I'm going to suggest that people be kind right now to each other and know that we're all in a bunch of stress and we don't know what the problem is. We're so used to planning and knowing what the next step is, and we're in this situation, we don't know what the next step is. We don't know what the next thing is, and so that's really hard for people. It's a beautiful chance for us just to sit in this place of, what if I let go of control? I mean, we have to actually. You're letting go of control. So what if I let go of control? What if I just step into me? What if I just allow myself this space to be present with people, be present with my kids? I know my kids are driving me nuts, but how do I still remain present? How can I open my heart even larger for them, even when they're driving me nuts?
Right.
So it's like this petri dish of, I talk about conscious couplehood and consciousness. It's literally a petri dish where we get to experiment with stress, with things that aren't normal, with this shift in how we have to operate. How can I still be present? How can I still be conscious? How can I still be aware? How can I notice what this beautiful angel light's coming through the window on you right now?
Yeah.
That's so gorgeous. Just to stay in that place and remember that this is bigger. We are bigger than this. Our spirits are so much bigger than this. We are just having an experience within this physical body, but who we really are is so much farther beyond all of this. And if you allow yourself to step into the space of who you really are beyond what is happening right now, that's going to help release you from this chaos or stuff that, it really is forcing people to surrender, and surrendering allows you to expand into the all-knowing and into the universal energy, the divine energy. That's what surrendering is. And this situation is forcing us to surrender control, which is a beautiful thing if we use that opportunity to step into this greater spiritual awareness of who we really are and come and start operating from that place. And it's a beautiful experiment of getting to try that over and over and over again, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good advice. Good advice. Thank you. And before we sign off, can you tell us an example of a couple that needed help and what happened to them afterwards? Like maybe one that was surprisingly shocking, one that people didn't think would make it.
Yeah, I did have a couple. I like to give prognosis on the first time after I meet them and just give them my opinion about where they're at in how things can go. And I always say that couple work is the hardest work, and it's a continuum, and there's different levels of where people are at in the relationship. Like someone, has their whole body out the door and their head's just hanging in, right? Or you could be like the door shut, but you have your hand on the knob or the handle, or like you are in two separate rooms in the house, or you need to rearrange furniture, right? So there's all these different levels. And so clients will let me know where they're at. And then I also can see their interactions in the session and what's happening. And this one couple, I'm like, okay, like you're basically living separate lives in the same house. So you have, are you committed to figuring out, if you really want to be together, are you committed to figuring out and doing the work it's going to take?
Mm-hmm.
And doing the homework, right? Homework to bring you back together, to have that commitment. So
Right.
they said yes, although one wasn't quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and we've done some awesome tools. I've been trained in a level 1, level 2 of Gottman Couples Therapy and Imago Therapy. And so using these different tools and having them work together,
Mm-hmm.
they're literally my favorite couple right now.
So where are they at now?
So now they are having open and vulnerable communication. They're healing all of these hurts that have been piling up through the whole years together. They're healing them together.
Mm-hmm.
They're being witnessing for each other's transformation. They're catching themselves in habits that are destructive to the couplehood. And so they're shifting it right away, or they're acknowledging their response. That's the other thing I have, like, if I'm going to work with you, you need to own 100% responsibility to what you bring to the relationship. So they're owning their responsibility. They're holding their own. They're recognizing their defense mechanisms that pop up. So they're doing all the pieces that they need to do to pull them back together. And it's just, and they're isolated together.
No
So
choice.
they're doing so fantastic, and I'm so happy for them. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for sharing with us today, Karla. Where can people get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you?
You can go to my website, www.livlove.ca. And you can click on there. You can also go to my website if you want therapy sessions, www.karlalang, KarlaLang, MFT, that stands for Marriage and Family Therapist, .com. I was giving you an email. But the website is Karlalang, KarlaLang, MFT.com. So you can actually sign up for appointments there if you want.
Okay, great. So anybody out there looking for a little assistance, even when you think all hope is lost, you can still reach out and potentially work out your relationship if you want to salvage it and live a happy life. I love that.
Yes. And plan a second honeymoon.
There you go. Love it. Thank you so much, Karla, for sharing with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Randy, for having on. And this is such a great idea for you to help people informed with everything.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this interview hosted by Randy Goodman. We hope you will take action and connect with the incredible business people and leaders in our community. And remember, Randy is always here to answer any questions you have regarding your real estate needs. Be sure to register on the website and stay up to date on what's happening in your area at parkbench.com/millpond.